Hello viewers, welcome to something a little different from what I usually do. I did some digging around on YouTube and I pulled out 4 analog horror videos that I thought were pretty interesting. So yeah, we're just gonna react to them. We're just gonna react to them together and yeah. The first one we have is the boiled one phenomenon by Dr. Nowhere. Yeah, let's see how that is. Also, what is this? Looks like a tear in the... Looks like a tear, doesn't it? Make sure you have the following in the vicinity: earplugs, pencil, sheet of paper, standard Christian Bible, open to Psalms 91:10. Something unusual: begin speaking in tongues, tangible to the naked ears. Insert your earplugs and turn to your pencil and paper. Wait, what did that say? Hang on, I saw that. I saw that. You can't hide from me. Right on the following page. Oh, I just saw it. Oh. I want to know what that said. I can't get it in time. Just gonna have to see until... Gonna have to see after video. After these words are written, recite Psalm 91:10 aloud. Memories and imagery of something unholy possess your mind. Pray, it's all you can do. In the event you're required to carry out these procedures, contact authorities immediately afterwards or be administered amnestics. Many appear to lead a normal life afterwards. August 13th, 2003, The Tree of Heaven. Late 1990s, now classified documentary-based television program debut from a local station in Pennsylvania. Oh, so it's like a nature show. Oh. R.I.P. Then, something odd happened. The 13th episode of the series began a rerun seemingly out of nowhere. The following audio recording depicts in the beginning segments of the episode.
Good morning, bushwhackers. Today we're venturing into the heart of the forest to find a plant that's as beautiful as it is deceptive. Poison oak. We all know about it, and here in Pennsylvania it's not as common, but still something to look out for. And here on we aim to uncover all the wonderful secrets that nature has to offer, no matter how minuscule or gigantic. So let's get going, shall we? Found primarily in deep North American woodlands, poison oak has many different names and places of origin, also referred to as the Tree of Heaven. Imagine that? In China and Taiwan, one of these invasive species made its way to America in the 1700s. It took its ground here boldly. As many of us know, it's infamous.
Infamous for what? During one of the interlude segments, an anomalous broadcast would hijack the program. This broadcast depicted videos of a red melted face that spoke to the viewer in a warm yet deeply disconcerting voice. Who is this guy? Some sort of boiled one? What a strange phenomenon this is. This face and its properties will be hereby as, all I saw was, Fen 228. Most remembered Fen 228 speaking English, multiple non-English Shortened, muffled, reverse, dampened. I don't have earplugs. I have headphones on, but I don't have blue light glasses. I just Ugh. Why are you so spiky? Oh, hell no. Did you see that? He was looming over someone in their sleep. It was viewed by roughly 530 residents in the southern Pennsylvania area. Not being able to keep the image of N228's face out of their minds, some even continue to hear its voice days after viewing. The victim, who requested to remain anonymous, claimed the face was living in his brain and feeding on his spine. None of these people knew that this was only the beginning of a whole new species of... I wasn't finished reading. The Great Northeast Blackout of 2003. After the anomalous frequency was discovered, an ERC was ordered by the Ephrata branch of all power grid local to the state of Pennsylvania disabled by 4 p.m. Spread to New York, New Jersey, Ohio, and even, I don't know. The Great Northeast Blackout of 2003. 50 million people without power. The blackout was promptly covered up and claimed to have been a combination of human error and the result of trees falling on the sagging power line somewhere in Ohio. But the damage had been done. Oh, so they were too late. The Fan 228 was ingrained in everybody's memory. Historically massive influx of pseudocoma occurred through the state of Pennsylvania. 509 people affected. Let's see. Pseudocoma is an extremely rare condition in which a patient experiences cerebrospinal connection, leaving them to be conscious but unable to move or communicate verbally due to complete paralysis of all voluntary muscles in the body, except for vertical eye movements and blinking. Oh, that's awful. A rare condition as a spectacle by the U.S. Department of Health and was put under governmental investigation. One thing in common with all these cases that the patients have been at home watching TV the night broadcast 813 was... What does he think he's doing climbing out of the TV like that? 60 victims were interviewed, and all they could do was Morse code with their eyes, because, you know, paralyzed. However, the Ephrata branch was notified of a particularly odd case revolving around Job Zamperini, an elderly victim of the anomalous pseudocoma outbreak. He requested his alias to be used in future records. Orvet fluent in Morse code, putting him on the mark as a potential interviewee as soon as the outbreak was put under investigation. A very odd photo was taken in his backyard by visiting his grandson. His family became deeply troubled. This led them to contact a local priest in the hopes that the house would be cleansed. Non-hazardous and safe to view, though it's still anomalous in nature. Don't worry, guys, it'll be safe to look at this. Just make sure you have those. Why is he so spiky? And also, it can, or I think everybody that saw the broadcast can see it. Can see whatever it is. Why is he so tall? He's got a bit of a hunch. Zamperini claimed something horrible and unholy was with him and would hurt him and possibly others if he described him what it was telling him. The following is a recovered, previously archived recording in which Officer T. Gomez of the Ephrata branch interviews Job Zamperini.
Hello, Mr.
I'm Officer Gomez. Hope you're doing well today. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions regarding your condition and
Wait, hang on. Before you question him, look over this. Do you also see that? He thinks he can. He thinks he can hide. He's over here. He's like watching. He's like watching him. I think because you know he said like, "Hey, I'm gonna cause great harm to you if you try to describe me."
possibly unholiness within your home that your family had mentioned? Okay, first and foremost, did you notice any onset symptoms before you lost complete mobility of your body?
Translation sequence. There was
Face,
a face.
huh? When did you begin seeing this face?
Also, I just found something out. I don't think any of you can see where my mouse is, but where I'm pointing my mouse at, it's over at the end of the bed on the right side. Like you'll see like black little spikes nearby the black little spiky things nearby the window. Like you gotta look at the edge of the bed and then like follow the outline of like the top and then you'll see it.
Interesting. Many of the people who have seen the broadcast that you saw on August the 13th described having vivid and upsetting hallucinations. Do you think this is something your brain has created?
No, it is in the
Can you
window.
please describe this face to me?
Oh, that's long. Horribly burnt, not of Lord Christ.
I still don't see it. Have you been having any hallucinations aside from the face?
Wait a minute. Sorry for pausing again, but you see the plaque on the wall where it says "Give it to God and go to sleep." It says "I can see you." He knows what's up.
I'm sorry to hear that. Are these screams constant?
At night before I sleep, I hear trumpets too.
Thank you.
But Lord Christ
You
is with
shedding
me.
light on this is helping more than you.
Oh, I almost choked on my drink. What was that? It's him. I told you. He was watching from outside. Wonderful day, the miracle of birth, a fatal fanfare.
Listen closely.
I don't think I want to listen.
Do you hear it?
Ew, what is that?
You will hear the laughter of thousands as the sky opens up. You will hear the trumpets play their happy sounds. The streams blood of life will pour down onto us all. Together, we will be still. Together, a feast fit for a king. Together, melded by
Ew, I don't want to shake your hand. Put that
connection.
back wherever
Be
you
still.
kept it. Warning, if you can see the screen, it means it's not safe to continue viewing. The program will end shortly. Protocol Bravita 228 has been initiated. Perform the procedures given to you during the introduction portion of this video immediately. Alright guys, open up your Bibles to Psalm 91, I forgot what the thing was.
Full Sail University
Alright, so that was...
is where you can get hands-on experience with emerging technologies.
Alright, thanks. I wanna go back and see what the thing said now that it's done. Hang on. I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move. Oh, no. My timing sucks. Okay, this time for sure I got it. I can't see this. Damn it. Please, I just want to read it. You don't need to keep secrets from me. You can trust me. I can't see this paper. I have no hand. I can hear the laughter of thousands. I can hear the feast. I cannot move nor do what I want to. Oh, that's what it said? Okay. I feel like in the ending it was referencing the rapture, the end of times, according to the Bible. Because it mentions sounds of trumpets and stuff. But yeah, that was the boiled one. Very creepy. I wouldn't want to see that looming over me. Alright, next up we have a Five Nights at Freddy's VHS analog horror video. So it's called Paranormal Interrogation, and we got some text for it. A tape released and recorded by the local police department for documentational reasons of the crime case that happened at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza on the night of July 20th, 1993. Also including the events at the police archive in town where animatronics were prepared for investigation and interrogation. This was recorded on June 21st. Okay, let's go.
Alright, so the chief told me that you should enlighten me about the case. Is that right?
It sure is. We found the corpse of a young girl inside the girls' restroom. We identified her as Susie Davies. She was reported missing last night, just like the 3 other children. We suspect that their disappearances are linked to this case. The mechanic who was murdered had possession of a video camera. We have not yet been able to fully evaluate the footage as it was unfortunately damaged, but the specialists are on it trying to recover what they can. Maybe the mechanic was an accomplice.
Were there no security cameras in the service room?
No, not at all.
Well, did you check the footage of the other security cameras?
Oh, there's your problem. There
Well,
wasn't cameras where there was supposed to be.
For reasons we can't explain, the cameras were switched off on that day and night, leading us to believe this was a planned crime. However, according to the analysts, paranormal things can appear there. They suspect that there was a paranormal event connected with the girl's death, like a spirit.
You don't actually believe in ghosts, do you?
Yeah, I know how it sounds, but we currently have no other
The
evidence.
animatronics here,
We can't even exclude
do get a
absurd
bit
possibilities.
quirky at night.
We confiscated all the animatronics and put them into a storage room. We need to check the bird-looking animatronic. The employees gave us a testing device from Fazbear Entertainment Corporate, which uses certain frequencies to which the animatronics may respond
I think I
to.
remember seeing.
Perhaps
video.
potential responses will give us information about whether there is a connection to the murder or not. Colleagues have already prepared everything to make sure that the missing animatronic mask wouldn't pose as an obstacle at the contact attempt. They put the new mask onto the animatronic with the instruction manual found at the crime scene.
Alright, well, I'll take a look. I'll let you know if anything comes up.
Sure thing.
Where are we now? The police station. Wait, where are we? Oh no, wait. This is the storage room that we were talking about that they brought the animatronics to. It's dark.
Okay, let's see. First, let me take a look at the other animatronics.
No, no. No. No.
Alright, they should be in here.
Well, they're not in here. I think we should turn back and It's a 3v1. Get out of there. Oh God. I don't like how they look.
Well, they sure as hell look creepy, but everything seems to be fine here. I'll head to the interrogation room.
I agree with you on the creepy part, but everything is not fine here. Your life is in danger, but you don't know it yet. Chica's gonna go, like, be missing or something. Oh wait, it's like the oh, it's like from Five Nights at Freddy's 6.
Well, hopefully this will lead to something.
You have chosen to proceed with the maintenance checklist. Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1. Document results.
That didn't work. Maybe this will. Susie Davis, are you there? We mean no harm. We want to find out who did this to you, Susie. What happened last night?
It's time for pizza!
Holy! Oh, maybe I should stop here.
I was the first. I saw everything.
Holy!
Nah, you need to get out of there. No!
Hey there, rock stars!
Oh no, not you too.
Where are you going? The show hasn't even started yet.
Foxy's behind you.
God.
No, Foxy went down that way.
Yeah! Ahoy, me, matey! There is no escape from this ship. Raise the anchor and drop up the sails. Things are about to get menacing.
You didn't close the door behind you.
This is Detective Smith to dispatch, batch number 7396. We have a code red at the Police Archive Institution. I repeat, a code red. It's hard to believe, but the animatronics at Fazbear Entertainment are alive and sentient. We need all available units here as fast as possible, now!
Oh, he didn't die. Phew, what a relief. I'm sure there's a video leading to that where like he goes missing or something. But that was a pretty good FNAF VHS tape. I mean, all of them are. If I remember, I think those models were from the Juniors game. It's like a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. It's like really well done. All right, next up we have the Monument Mythos. This is a part of a series made by Mr. Manticore, but we're going to be looking at one of his videos, which is called CORNERFOLK. Let's see what these CORNERFOLKs have to say. 2011, Riley Tillen uploaded 3 videos describing an unseen presence in his home. A 4th video in 2013 raised concerns over his safety and prompted an official investigation.
Many dimensions intersect with their own, several of which are 2D planes. When 2 or more planes intersect, they form corners. Entities in the intersecting planes cannot perceive each other. They exist separately, in their own worlds. However, the cornerfolk can pass these boundaries and enter other planes. The cornerfolk are a trans-dimensional species. They are the only ones who can traverse the corners shaped by planes. Coincidentally, I believe that the corners of my own home align with several planes, for I have seen the cornerfolk in action, crossing the corners from one reality.
What is that? What is that? It's got...
to another.
It's a little goober. I don't think it means harm. I heard the corner folk really got my camera. Don't do that. Literally got it. Literally, like, startled me. Analysis? I didn't see it.
This leap requires massive amounts of energy that, when released, produces bright blue flashes. I have yet to discover the source of this energy, and the reason behind the cornerfolk crossings remains unknown.
I think they're just too lazy to go around or go the actual path, so they're like, let me just cross through this dimension here. I don't feel like walking.
While I was at work, my cameras captured up to 12 cornerfolk huddling in the doorway. I used to think that they had to cross dimensions quickly, but the new footage has proven otherwise. When I'm not around, they take a break from traveling and exhibit micro-movements similar to dreaming animals. They must feel safe in these corners, which suggests that the cornerfolk's own home is made of similar structures.
The corner world.
I imagine that their corner world is made of many plane intersections, allowing them to move freely without using up any energy. My photographs show that smaller cornerfolk have odd impressions on their skin, as though they had been pressed against many plane intersections at once. The corners likely belong to a nursery or a crib in their homeworld. A multitude of corners placed in close proximity.
Hang on. Was it just me or did that say prison? Like, watch like the word nursery turn into prison.
Crib in their homeworld. A multitude.
I was right. It turned into
their homeworld.
Like, look. It says prison. It's not a nursery, it's a prison.
A multitude of corners placed in close proximity could be used to secure the infant from leaving the corner world. Perhaps
and that said trapped.
The corner world.
Look, it says trapped. It's all coming together now.
Perhaps they only cross corners in search of food.
Actually, I don't know if it's coming together or not. I have no idea what.
Same way we only leave our homes for resources. The corner world may be used to raise young, while my own house's corners serve as rest stops of sorts during their journeys.
This is the last upload before police had to get involved.
I've begun to dream of the corner world. I can't stop thinking about it. According to the calendar, I've spent entire weeks in my home, just drawing and describing the corner world on paper. I lost my job last month due to repeated absences, but it really does feel like I just left the office this afternoon. When the cornerfolk jump, it feels as though they're taunting me. But I'm close to a solution. Regardless of whether my body survives the forces of the corner world or not, this much is certain. The fear of my own destruction will not prevent my entry.
And this is the upload that he made before people started getting worried. Do a wellness check on him. It's a little drafty in here. What happened? Did he cross into the corner world? What is that? Following his last upload, viewers requested a wellness check on Riley Tillin. Local authorities found Tillin asleep in one corner of his room. But he wasn't actually asleep, was he? A closer examination revealed that his internal organs have been folded along various axes, warranting immediate medical attention. During his recovery, Tillin avidly made origami, despite claiming to have never been taught how to do so. As of 2020, he remains in the care of his friends. How are you able to... How does one unfold organs? I'm sure like if you have to unfold a heart, you'd have to like be careful, because it'll be like one of those papers you fold and then like you fold it the wrong way and they just and it's like, oh, well, there goes his heart.
If y'all don't got arcade, y'all better get arcade.
No, I don't want to get arcade. But yeah, that was the CORNERFOLK. I forgot what the guy's name was. I probably should have looked. But it's part of a series called the Monument Mythos? Monumento Mythos? I forgot. I think it's something like that. Next one we're looking at is Take Care by _Boysfort. I have a feeling that some of you probably know who he is. Well, we're looking at Take Care. It's literally 1 minute long. These are troubling times, my friend. During such tribulation, let us focus on the small victories. Waking at a reasonable hour. Exercising consistently. Ignoring the noises downstairs. Staying productive. What are you trying, little buddy? Ignoring the noises downstairs again. What is that? Stop whispering in my ear.
When did you last see your friends? Your family?
Oh, I don't know what you're saying. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Oh, I don't know why he got so close up to my ears and was like. Let's see. It sounded like he was saying something though. As much as I don't want to go back and listen. Does it say anything? Okay, it doesn't say anything. The word he doesn't say anything. Excuse me, sir. Why is your head a triangle? But yeah, that was Take Care by Boysfort. I don't like him whispering in my ear. Oh yeah, I think if I remember, he started making Boysfort started making stuff during like 2020, which was like, you know, lockdown and everything. All right, next one isn't necessarily a video, but it's a fictional place. This place isn't real. Called the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. And these are just like, you know, stuff of the Flesh Pit National Park. Discover verdant forests, majestic scenery, and cosmic terror. Legendary trout fishing, geodetonic carnal moans, broken philosophy, background hiking, and ping. Spelunker-led descents, campfire programs, abyssal copepod. Doesn't this look fun? Oh, there's stuff here. While the rural areas of West Texas are known for their bar spot Sparse populations. One tourist attraction seems to continually generate a steady stream of survivors around vacation seasons. The titular Mystery Flesh Pit has been a wellspring of fascination for geologists, biologists, and sociologists, engineers, and the general public alike. Guests are advised to book age-appropriate tours and activities well in advance of their visit. Though the pheromonal discharges and the overall agitation level of the MFP can vary with short notice. Visitors should be advised to prepare for changes in schedule availability. Oh, they got merch. Black Friday sale, 35% off all items. Oh, and also this is an actual thing. Look. Man, I want to get the vintage 2007 disaster tee. What is this? Ew, brother, ew, what is that? Keep reading. Aquafire leech. Chatoderma repens. These tube-like mollusks are similar to a shellless clam or mussel. They can grow to a length of 2 meters and are equipped with two retractable mucosal proboscises, which branch into many thousands of microscopic tubes. These small tubes, which are able to penetrate even the densest tissues by finding the microscopic fractures in its structure, sap liquid moisture from which the leech feeds. Aquafire leech are typically found in well-oxygenated aquatic environments within the pit, such as moisture crops and water bladders. They inhabit the soft, porous substrates of these aquatic environments, often forming large aggregations to feed on nutrient-rich organic matter suspended in the water. The aquafire leech also provides an important ecological service, as they help to aerate and clean the substrate of these aquatic bodies by consuming organic material and expelling crystal clear water in the process. Aside from their ecological importance, species have been utilized to treat water to an extremely high purity, requiring far less energy than traditional desalination plant. Additionally, their mucosal proboscis is used in medical research as a way to perform research the human vascular system and its response to various conditions. You hear that, guys? Put this stuff in your water system. It'll clean it for you. Just be sure to toss in like raw meat in there or something. Let's see. Helicopter photograph of the mystery sinkhole and surface camp 20 miles south of Gumption, Texas, 1973, June 2nd. Rare photo from the early days of the pit. This gives a good idea of how small the operations were back in the early 1970s, about 3 months after the pit was discovered. In this aerial photo, you can see the natural entry orifice pre-excavation, a temporary electric lift tower, as well as a utility trunk connecting to the surface power and ventilation plant in the base camp down in the pit. There's also a hydraulic dredging crane that was used to bite away at some of the flesh down in the pit to enlarge the working area and remove material. Quote unquote, edge. Oh, dredge. That's where I was getting it from. Quote unquote, bite away. It would be unrecognizable only a few months later as paved roads and half a dozen permanent buildings were constructed, transforming this modest camp into a fully industrial mining and excavation site. Excavation initiation. Hey, look, it's that shirt that I want. Mystery Flesh Pit National Park presents the 23rd Annual 4th of July Concert and Fireworks Celebration 2007. Someone... Hang on, where's my water at? My throat's getting a little chapped. Nothing like some good old Bloxy Cola. Some of the most sought-after artifacts surrounding the legacy of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park are those items directly connected to the catastrophic 2007 tragedy. I can click on this? Alright. We'll read this, but you gotta read this. Such pieces of ephemera are rare to find in a salvageable condition, owing primarily to the amount of destruction wrought by the accident. Though the now infamous CGR investigative report has long been made public, there remains many unanswered questions and inconsistencies, with some official reports offering wholly incongruous numbers with regards to total human casualties. In 2022, it is still unknown if the full scope of the accident will ever be entirely known to those outside of the Senate committee chambers or corporate boardrooms. Despite this obfuscation, I believe that the truth can be deciphered from the tattered, bloodied, half-digested mementos and souvenirs of thousands of visitors, workers, and families who suffered for hours, and in a few cases days, as they were horrifically eaten alive in terrible demonstration of wanton brutality on a scale previously unknown in recorded history. Can you imagine their terror? Can any of us really perceive the horror of those visitors as they realize that the end result of a lifetime of hopes, dreams, relationships, and destinies was to be consumed? These lifeless artifacts remain more than just a testament. They are all that remain. Get yours here. Major credit cards accepted. Okay. Fry me in a frying pan and cook me and eat me. It's my dream. Final incident investigation report. Let's see what happened. Huh, what just happened? Okay, I have no idea what happened. I just got a little warning, or I just got a little alert saying that the live stream disconnected. I'm still here, right? I'm still live, right? Wait, why is my screen like that? Hang on. Will that fix it? Because I'm looking at the live stream, and for some reason it shows. Oh, okay, there we go. It fixed. All right. All right. Where were we? Known colloquially as the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park experienced a catastrophic disaster in which resulted in over 750 fatalities and over 1,800 major injuries. In the weeks following the incident, approximately 18,000 individuals from the surrounding community sought medical and psychological treatment for ailments including breathing problems, chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, birth defects, hallucinations, depression, anxiety, internal bleeding, sore throat, and headaches such as a result of the contact with gastric ejecta, which had been introduced to the atmosphere. Ew, the cave farted and everyone smelled it. Investigators have concluded that this disaster was chiefly characterized by a premature geobiological consumption event caused by the catastrophic failure of critical park infrastructure to constrain and limit the gastric motor and neurological actions of the Permian Basin superorganism. Investigators concluded that the failure of these critical safety measures are the direct result of negligent practices by the primary site operations contractor, Anodyne Deep Earth Mining, a subsidiary of Anodyne Inc. U.S. Commission on the USS Commission on the Geobiological Resources and Public Safety (CGR) released its first report, the Permian Basin Superorganism Disaster, in August 2007. It highlighted technical findings, safety system deficiencies. The report issued recommendations to Anodyne Inc., the City of Gumption, Texas, the State of Texas, the U.S. Department of the Interior, U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the U.S. Department of Energy. Phew. As of April 2008, these groups have made progress in implementing the recommendations to improve the regulatory requirements for geobiological resource extraction, geobiological resource containment, and general public safety as it relates to the Permian Basin superorganism. So the reason all these deaths that happened, which reminds me, how many casualties? Oh yeah, 750 fatalities, and also 1,800 major injuries that were caused to 18,000 individuals from the surrounding communities. All this happened to them because people got lazy, people got sloppy, and they weren't watching the flesh pit, and it like burped all over everyone. What? Superorganism is chiefly characterized by its immense size, which is still a matter of geobiological debate. Surveys suggest the organism may span many hundreds of miles beneath the Permian Basin horizontally, with scientists speculating may extend vertically into the upper mantle of the Earth's interior. So this thing's a giant worm inside of the Earth. Let's see, complete anatomical layout, internal organization of the organism is unknown. Tissue samples suggest the organism contains gastrointestinal, vascular, respiratory, musculoskeletal, nervous, limbic, and integumentary systems with remarkable similarity to animal life, while also containing a variety of systems which have no direct analog and are not fully understood. The feeding cycle of the organism is poorly understood and believed to occur on a complex and long-term schedule of dormancy and feeding activity. Derives caloric energy from subterranean hydrocarbon deposits. Has been observed to digest and absorb organic matter. That's why all those people got eaten, because I was like, man, I'm hungry, and it was just whoop. See, the depth at which the organism extends into the surrounding rock strata indicates that the organism is several 100,000 years old. So this thing has been here since the dinosaurs or something. I don't know. It is unknown what the natural lifespan of the species is, or if the Permian Basin superorganism represents a mature or developing example of the species. Oh, goodbye, Earth. Oh, wait, look. This is the incident timeline. See, 1029. Unseasonably high rains forced park administrators to cancel July 4th concert and fireworks display. Surface park grounds. Many visitors who already purchased tickets became upset. A decision is made to extend the park hours until midnight for those who purchased event tickets. Normal closing time for the national park, which is 8 p.m. Typical shift change to reduce night staff in the control room takes place. Harvesting crews working the west extremities of the organism set a new extraction record to meet a quota for bonuses and time for the holiday weekend. Control room operators initiate a routine system self-test and discover relay fault error resulting from the increased electrical demand from mining equipment and tourist infrastructure. Control room operator logs the fault and notifies an on-duty engineer. Water drainage surface rain into the entry orifice begins to collect in the sand gullet. So the drainage pumps were supposed to get rid of the rainwater from the flesh pit's mouth, but it failed, and so oh wait, an emergency backup pump running on a separate emergency circuit is automatically activated. Critical alarm in the control room alerts operators that the emergency water pump is seized and is inoperative. Oh, so the stuff started breaking down because of the stomach acid of the flesh pit? I don't know. Oh, I was right. The water was filling up in the flesh pit's mouth. A choking action from the organism begins 31 seconds of the electrical reset. The main dorsal trunk violently flexes. Lack of power to hydraulic arming rams cause irreparable damage to several sections of the internal infrastructure. Not accounting 2 of the 6. Torn from the foundations. 20 degrees off vertical. Oh, so while the flesh pit is like twitching and like throbbing or whatever it's doing, it tears off a bar holding up the visitor center. Master alarm is tripped. Surface facilities are notified as response teams are given the order to mobilize. Park rangers dispatched. Trapped in partially collapsed tunnels and trails. An outbound elevator conducts an emergency stop, stranding over 24 visitors. Tremors registered as far away. So there was an earthquake. So this entire. Let's see. Can I pull this up in another tab? Let's see. Can I zoom in? How do I zoom in? Okay. So this entire area, this entire circle right here, was how big the tremor was. What the? Why does it say Tumblr? I did not know that. So, okay, so the pipes corroded and they couldn't drain the rainwater out, and so the flesh pit's like as it's like trying to cough up the rainwater. Meanwhile, it's causing everything to collapse around it. Many guests attempt to flee the stalled elevator near the entry orifice, attempting climbing out the upper moisture crop, but are ultimately unsuccessful due to torrential rains causing the surfaces to become slippery. Many end up falling back into the maw. Oh, the stomach acid smell, like, it reached out far. Oh, this got so bad that they were like, they told the Pentagon gave the White House permission to nuke it if the flesh pit started like climbing out or something. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize this moves on to the next day. So pretty much oh, wait, what? 15 visitors are injured and 7 are hunted by interpit life forms during panicked evacuation of the surface resort. What, the people were getting chased during this? So that's what happened. There's people still inside of there, but they're probably dead or something. What? That's the stomach. Okay, so this is where the pump station is. And this right here is the line for how much rainwater can be in here. Or, yeah. But somebody didn't check up on the pipes and the water got up to here, making it... Oh, I see what it did. It made it like throw it up. And the emergency drainage pump is right here. But since the rainwater like flooded the area, it was impossible to get back down here. To get down here to like turn it off. But that was corroded, wasn't it? Oh, what is this? Cross-section through nexial cavity prior to incident. Passage, dorsal organ trails, visitor center. Passage, sand gullet, and trunk organ. Oh, they weren't kidding when they said that this tilted over. Like, look at this. So while it was like choking and stuff, it like tightened up its airway because it was like choking. And so then they were like, you know what, we need to get out of here. So they tried climbing up, but then it was raining, so it was wet, so they like slipped and they're like, ah! And they fell into the mouth and then they died. Overview of the contingency. Let's see, it says here they're using aconitine. It's commonly used as an acute toxin for large mammals such as whales and was chosen for its theoretical effectiveness on key muscle groups within the organism. Okay, so this is the okay. So this is apparently the contingency in case, you know, something like that happens again. It's like the fear toxin, but except it's not. Instead of causing fear, it I guess it calms it down. Because I also saw in the thing, it said that... Yeah, it says right here, a rapid injection of large volumes of the aconitine would act as a sedative agent without inducing death tissue beyond the immediate injection sites. Let's see. The investigation also concluded that the aconitine injection failsafe was directly responsible for causing a toxic shock response within the organism, which resulted in a gastric ejecta event, so it threw up. Anodine, you goof. All this is your fault. This is my dog in the background. I don't know if you can hear her. But she's barking. I think she sees someone outside. Incident conclusions. General recommendations. I have a recommendation. Stay up to date on your things. Otherwise, we're gonna have problems like this. Surface containment facility. Gastric system. Boner. Muscle tissue. Dermal tissues. Permian superorganism containment system diagram. Huh. I don't get it. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Let's see. Permian-based superorganism containment overview. So this stuff is going to be on the surface, and it's going to like dig down all the way into the inside of the flesh. Gonna like dive into the flesh of the flesh pit, and it's gonna like I don't know, I guess I'm not so sure what it'll do. Oh wait, it says here all efforts, let's see, recommended multi-strategy containment plan is outlined as follows. All efforts should be made to maintain a steady introduction of high potency anesthetic. Oh, I see. It's to like calm it down, like hey, take a breather, you're fine, nothing's wrong. This document represents an executive overview of the now infamous July 2007 disaster which permanently closed the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. Though the initial hazard and containment response was praised by many for its quick and decisive action, many have criticized the government for continuing to allow the Permian Basin Recovery and Superorganism Containment Corporation, formerly Anodyne, a commercial stake in the containment efforts. Or it can be found about on subreddit, the official Discord, or at the blog. The blog? Oh, well, that's a shame, but hey, look, I can get a shirt. Can I go back? Let's see, evolution of park signage. This was 1973, discovery and development of the pit. Caution, enter mining area, authorized personnel only, omitted without authorization, research personnel, surgical trays, proceed to site office. Celestial, wait, what does that even say? Ecclesiastical, silly personnel proceed to the ritual site encampment. Danger, you're walking into the mouth of a giant worm that's burrowed into our earth, and we're using it as a national park. In 1976, it says bus groups welcome Mystery Flesh Pit. Caver Coop says come explore the Funderground. The restaurant and lodging, hiking, camping, and fishing, and special adult fun for mom and dad. The Mystery Flesh Pit, more like the Mystery Freak Pit. Yeah, Anodyne Inc. opens a mystery flesh pit to the general public. Oh wait, so this was the first sign that they had when I was like, hey, come on down. Come step inside this giant mouth. And then in 1980, the Special Resource Development Act passes in 1980, absorbing the park into the National Park System. Let's see, visitor center, viewing platform, base camp, gift shop, descent pavilion, amniotic spring baths, hotel, ritual grounds, parking lots. And then 2007, the present park is permanently closed and quarantined. Attention, extreme danger. Stop. This area has been quarantined for your safety. Over 582 people have died attempting to commune with the superorganism. The U.S. government is unable to rescue individuals trapped by the superorganism. You will not receive a gift from the superorganism. You will find no answers. No answers. No. None. Nada. Not at all. Beyond this fence. There's nothing worth this fence, beyond this fence, worth dying for. And it's 10,000 volts. Good luck. Good luck getting past that sign, buddy. Cave or Coop, a brief animated film starring shown at the park's visitor center, where character would attempt to assuage worries about being eaten alive or swallowed, reassuring children, often parents, that the pit was perfectly safe and reinforced. Oops, didn't mean to open that. Actually, what did I even do? What is this? Park signage evolution. We're already looking at it. Alright, next. Which one? Wildlife safety or whatever. Let's look at this one. Actually, this is zoomed up enough. Let's see. You go over here to buy gondola tickets. And is that supposed to be like a statue of how big the flesh pit is? And that's the flesh pit. Oh, and there's the gondola. Yeah, if you wanna like zoom on a little gondola over the flesh pit, just come here. And then 21.5 is what that says. What am I looking at here? What part of the body is this? This could, unless this is, what if this is the cheek of the mouth? Or, I mean, it has to be deeper than that, because, like, look, there's a platform here. Alright, time to look at what was chasing these people. Wildlife safety within the mystery flesh pit. Your visit to the mystery flesh pit can be a most pleasurable and rewarding experience, or it can be a time of vexation, distress, or even tragedy. Much depends on how you and your family observe these simple guidelines and avoid designated hazards. Take a minute to read these simple but important safety rules, then go on to a pleasant park experience. Visitors and the wildlife within the mystery flesh pit often frequent the same areas within the park. It is likely that park wildlife and visitors will encounter one another, but by remaining calm and following the basic advice of the experienced veterinobiologist, you increase the odds of a positive outcome for both yourself and the wildlife. Know before you go, all visitors who partake on self-guided excursions beyond reinforced and enclosed trails within the mystery flesh pit are required to attend an orientation at the lower visitor center. During this orientation, a park ranger will inform you about the areas that are closed to the visitors due to high fauna activity or recent wildlife-human encounters. It is important to be aware when camping and hiking within the mystery flesh pits and to avoid wildlife foraging areas. Chimel? I don't know. I'm gonna go Chimel or Chimel. Yeah, Chimel sounds good. Chimel deposits, gastric bladders, surface wildlife carcass mounts, etc. Contact park staff to obtain current information on wildlife safeties. Now, once inside the greater anatomy of the pit, rangers may be able to assist you, but ultimately you are on your own. Oh look, stuff I can't read. That's better. Alright, what have we got? Macrobacteria, the most common organism encountered in the park by park visitors during the excursions into the park. Resembling microscopic counterparts, these creatures are multicellular and reach size up to 12 feet, 4 millimeters across. The feeding mechanism believed to be related to the cystic nutrient ganglions found within the mystery flesh pit. Osmotic diffusion of proteins, lipids, and minerals from within these ganglia into the macrobacteria appear to drive their asexual production capability. Though generally passive in nature, macrobacteria are aggressively territorial of feeding zones and pose a risk to human life through suffocation via an oral groove or through caustic bifurcation. And don't get close to this; it's gonna wrap its mouth around you, and then you'll suffocate. You'll be like, and then you'll die. Hey, this one has hands. Abyssal copepods. As their name suggests, abyssal copepods tend to avoid lights, machinery, and other human activity whenever possible. They live deeper in the mystery flesh pit, unlike the macrobacteria. Abyssal copepods are predatory and survive by hunting other life forms within the pit. Their arthropods have hard chitinous carapaces coated in a waxy secretion which allows them to easily slip and travel within the pit while remaining somewhat protected from conventional deterrents such as firearms and electric discharge weapons. So it's like a crab of some sort. They're considered hazardous to the safety and well-being of the park staff, park visitors, as well as commercial mining operations within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. Let's see. This is wildlife. We have mushrooms. While not typically considered wildlife, large fungal colonies are commonly encountered throughout the Mystery Flesh Pit and should be treated as potentially dangerous. Let's see. The proximity of the amniotic spring fluid bladders as well as spores which are toxic to humans. Routinely prune the known fungal outcroppings which attempt to grow near developed areas of human activity, but visitors should remain alert as to not accidentally stumble or fall into a colony. Why are there dogs on this? On rare occasions, abyssal copepods and other park wildlife will venture outside the pit and pull surface animals such as deer, livestock, coyotes, and rabbits to the mystery flesh pit. If not eaten by park fauna, these animals may undergo a fascinating phenomenon known as anatomical amalgamation. The process, not fully understood by park scientists, results in the creation of a compound organism, which is a hybrid of constituent surface animals. So if they get pulled into the pit, they mash together and become one. See, because of the gruesome and seemingly haphazard nature of the combinations, many compound surface fauna do not live beyond a few hours or days from the time when they are discovered. Should you encounter a shambling compound surface fauna, please do not feed it or otherwise engage in activity which could prolong its suffering. No, in the extreme unlikely event that you encounter an amalgamation containing one or more human constituent organisms, contact a park ranger immediately via one of the emergency phones installed along trail routes. So people can get pulled into this thing. They'll be mixed with like deers, coyotes, and all that. What is that? Seriously, what the hell is that? Is that that's a hand? Why do you have a hand? You're a worm. Worms don't have hands. Basic safety tips: as the number of visitors of the Mystery Flesh Pit increase, so does the number of human wildlife encounters. See, all right. Listen carefully now, because this will save your life one day. Minimize disturbance of anatomical fauna. If you see floral or fauna within the park and it does not appear to notice you, back out of sight and change your course. Move out of the area or quietly observe at a safe distance without approaching or otherwise disturbing it. If it stops eating and looks up, raises antenna, secretes scent enzymes, or begins making territorial clicks while trying to locate you, you are too close. While many life forms within the pit seem to be tolerant of human presence at distances farther than 200 yards. Oh, so you gotta be like far away from these things. Each creature is different. Use telephoto lens and endoscopes where possible, allowing migrating bacterial colonies to pass by your camp undisturbed. Let's see, if you have made sure that the wildlife is aware of your presence, so it's not surprising, you kept all your gear under direct control, allow any organism you encounter to travel unhindered. You may just be afforded the opportunity to safely observe these amazing creatures in their natural habitat. Exercise proper equipment handling. Do not leave equipment unattended. This includes tent frames, tents, climbing cleats, water bottles, and weapons. Consider using a portable electric fence to discourage aggressive wildlife such as copepods from investigating your camp. In areas with damage to amniotic bladders, minimize the amount of fluid that contaminates your gear and clothes. Many life forms within the pit have extraordinary senses of smell and depend on phosphoproteins within the fluid in order to survive. Some will attempt to hunt you if they smell strong concentrations on your persons or equipment. Oh wait, that's a copepod. That's the little hands that it had in the little diagram. It's got feathers coming out of it. Oh no, wait, that's like the antenna. Nasty. An adult copepod emerges from a barrow. Wait, barrow? I just say barrow. Let's see, this is the description for the safety brochure. Though the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park remained a model of visitor safety until the disaster which led to its closure, the natural hazards of the pit necessitated guests being aware of the nature of the attraction they were descending into. This brochure, combined with a mandatory 3-minute orientation film shown in the lower visitor center, was intended to act as a minimum standard of readiness for inexperienced park guests. Park Service staff, rangers, and anodyne mining personnel received much more in-depth training as part of their operations within the pit. That's cool. Let's see, we read that. Okay, everything up here we read. All we have is this stuff right here that I'm highlighting over. And then that's it. Let's see, what is this? Downtown Gumption. This is a tourist map of Gumption, Texas from around the year 1998, meant to be a caricature of the city's historic downtown area. Gumption, Texas. Population 11,500 at its peak. It is a small town located approximately 22 miles north of the surface orifice of the Mystery Flesh Pit. Throughout the discovery and development of the park, Gumption served as an important staging area for explorations of the pit before full facilities were set up, all the while eagerly selling any and every vice imaginable to the thousands of roughneck workers who flooded into the region to build the infrastructure within the pit. By the middle of the 1980s, families were the primary draw of the unique national park, so the city pivoted to keep up with the demands of tourism. Today, some 14 years after the closure of the park, the city of Gumption is almost an empty town, a fraction of its former size. The few hotels and restaurants left cater mainly to the routine droves of specialist workers and crews which labor to keep slumbering superorganism contained. Its empty streets haunted by the specter of a golden era gone by. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, we got the regional airport, Lake Weepy, St. Luke's Hospital, Motel 6, movie theater, History Museum, Wells Fargo Building, Civic Center, First Baptist Church, Injury Law District, Walmart, a Chevron, a 7-Eleven, a Taco Bell. What, there was a high school here? Go Guppies, Lee's Memorial Stadium. A South Lawn Methodist, the Methodist Church? I don't know if that's what it is. A Dairy Queen, an IHOP. Wait, that's not an IHOP. That's an ISAD. Why is it frowning? You got a McDonald's, a Burger King, and an Outback Steakhouse. Did I say Dairy Queen? I don't know if I said Dairy Queen. But, yeah, we also got a Dairy Queen here. Everything that our founding fathers, wanted us to have. For the land of the free. Let's see, courthouse, city hall. The Gumption Chamber of Commerce invites you to stop and idle a while. That's actually not, that actually has a nice ring to it. Stop and idle a while. Let's see. Thompson. Oh yeah, Thompson Park right here, and Plots R Us Cemetery. Wait, wait a minute. I just realized the cemetery is right next to the hospital. I'm sure that gives somebody hope. They're on their deathbed. It's like, oh, oh, I can't give up now. I just gotta have a little bit of hope. And then they look out the window and they see the cemetery. We got roads: Cherry Avenue, 6th Street, Beach Avenue, Aspen Avenue, 7th Street, North Parish Boulevard, 8th Street, 6th Street, 5th Street, 4th Street, Parish Boulevard, Main Street. This is Main Street right here. Oh yeah, and the Mystery Flesh Pit is 22 miles out that way. See, I'm not forgetting anything else, am I? No, I don't think I am. So this town is pretty much Silent Hill, because there's nobody here except a few people. Let's see. Caution, the ventrial environment beyond this bulkhead constitutes the interior systems of a living organism. This environment is actively hostile to human life. Serious injury and death may occur without proper equipment and training. Yeah, you gotta be careful, because you don't want to get eaten by the pit. What is this stained paper? Mr. Colt Fleming, CO Jackson Surveying Inc., May 2nd, 1973. Dear Colton, now you know more than most of how I may be prone to hyperbole on occasion, but those Whitmer boys that called on Monday are onto something amazing. I mean, really, truly amazing. This isn't any mineral deposit. Colton, at least it's not like anything I've seen. I went ahead and sent some samples for you and Chris to start looking at. I didn't think you all would believe me if I didn't. This thing that those old boys found is some kind of organic deposit that must go down at least 500 or 600 feet, by my reckoning. Not a fungus either. This thing breathes and makes sounds same as any other creature, and it bleeds. God, how it bleeds, Colton. It's a mess out here. John and some of the others think it might be something from outer space. Most of the hombres we brought out to start excavation call it Diablo de Bajo, and are really weary of going too close to what we figure it must be the mouth of this thing. Right now, I don't think I care what it is or where it came from. I'm an oil man. A proud American oil man. And I think we're onto something real big out here. Once you and Chris start looking at the samples, go ahead and give Lenny a call to send out his crew and make sure they bring at least 4 excavators. Actually, hang on. Where's my water? I'm getting a little thirsty. My throat's a little parched. Thank you. I was so thirsty. Alright, where were we? Oh yeah. Pay them whatever they ask to make it fast. Also, there's a card in here for a fella in Carlsbad with some pretty heavy-duty spelunking gear. Pay him whatever he wants to get here by Friday or Saturday. I'll call Beverly to have her put our other jobs on hold for the next 3 weeks. But you should remind her anyways. We need to move real fast on this. Dale Whitmer already left this morning. Find someone in gumption to come and take some photos. There'll be a circus once that happens. God help us if the feds come and lock it down. There's something about this thing that's important. And I don't want to see something this special get in the hands of some goddamn game warden. Regards. James Jackson, Jackson Surveying Inc. Wait, this was letter 1. This was the first letter. Well, then where's the other letter? What is this? Oh, doesn't that look lovely? Yeah, doesn't this look lovely? Don't you just wanna walk through here and take in the fleshy scenery? The Bronchial Junction Access Way, 7A. So you walk through here, and then you walk down this path, and you look at the flesh trees and everything. There's probably not flesh trees in there, but you know, look at the fleshy scenery. Be like, Mom, take a picture of me standing next to this breathing lung. And it's like, oh, okay, sweetie. And then, you know, the lung breathes and is like, what is this? Taste the sensation. Coke Heartthrob. What flavor do you think that would be? I'm thinking like dragon fruit or something. Or maybe it's like really sweet. That would make a great poster actually. I mean, I would put that in my room. Coke Heartthrob was the first introduced on Valentine's Day in 1985 as a limited promotion, but sold well over the summer that Coca-Cola added to their primary beverage roster in 1986. The defining ingredient in Coke Heartthrob was a core of amniotic ballast harvested from special glands deep within the mystery flesh pit. Yeah, never mind. I take back what I said. I don't want to drink it. The potent aphrodisiacal properties of amniotic ballast were diminished by heavily diluting the chemical before adding it into the beverage, but Coke Heartthrob still developed a notorious reputation for its unusual, intoxicating effects. The taste of Coke Heartthrob was described as syrupy sweet with hints of amaretto and rosewater, and the beverage had a light pheromonal scent similar to perfume. Combination of increasing extraction costs after the 2007 tragedy, as well as changing cultural attitudes, ultimately saw the decline of Coke Heartthrob sales until Coca-Cola Company decided to discontinue the beverage in 2011. Tell me, would you still drink that? Would you still drink this? Knowing where it came from? I might. I don't know. What is this? Welcome to Gumption, gateway to the Permian Basin superorganism. Stop and idle a while. Population 2,161. Come on in. Stop and idle a while. Let's see. Ooh, we have some fauna. Major parasitic fauna. Gotta put this in another tab and look closely at it. Macrobacterium. That's what the macrobacterium is on the left. Top left. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. No, it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. They kind of look like sea urchins. Let's see, a bone mite is that little thing. Is that little thing up there in the to the right, top right. A lesser copepod. Why are those? I don't want that grabbing me. I feel like it'll stab into my back and it'll be like, ah, get it off. Let's see, this is an abyssal copepod. This is nothing in the this is nothing like a worm in the slightest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a person, I think. It looks like a worm, but it has hands. Let's see. That's a stinging triocanth, a greater basalt siren, a shrieking cloistropod. It looks like an upside down cactus with a. Looks like an upside down cactus. A lesser ballast siren, bottom right. That looks like a cabbage. A sea anemone cabbage mixture. A Venus shamble. What are you? Okay, you're a worm, but you have the head of a croc. Of a croc shoe. But still, it's a worm nonetheless with veins coming out of it apparently. And this long thing is a gastric bristleworm. Okay, now this is a worm. Looks like a parasitic worm. Cause like look how long it is, and like look at all the little tentacle thingies that it has on it. See, I feel like the gastric bristleworm is like as tall as a. Would be like as tall as a adult man. Maybe an adult man with a child standing on his head. Like maybe that size. This chart and many others like it were produced by the Park Service as an educational tool for use in classrooms, museums, and universities. Popular among natural history enthusiasts, the illustrations featured on these posters were the result of intensive expeditions and surveys of the mystery flesh pit. While visitors are almost certain to encounter common fauna, such as the myriad or macrobacteria subspecies, many organisms such as the Venus shamble and abyssal copod tend to evade trails in high traffic areas. Excuse me, making them difficult to spot as a practical tool. As a practical tool, these illustrations were useful in training wildlife management rangers in proper firearm techniques for safely dispatching a dangerous organism. For this reason, the designers of this and other charts are tempted to represent the scale of the organisms in relation to each other as accurately as possible. So the largest thing that we have here is the abyssal copepod. Don't let it touch you. I don't want it to touch me. And again, yeah, no. It may look like a mixture of a worm and a lobster, but if it's supposed to be some sort of animal and it has like hands, 5 fingers to be exact, don't let it. Yeah, just stay away from those. Except if it's a monkey. Monkeys are cool. Who's this? Depending on who you talk to. Good grief, get a publisher. Alright, fine, I'll read it. Depending on who you talk to, James Jackson was either a con man, a genius, a degenerate gambler, a reincarnated shaman from ages past, or some combination of all 4. Jim, quote-unquote, as his friends and detractors called him, was a strange man. He was a self-educated thinker who was absolutely convinced that he was possessed of talents that approached the supernatural. He may have been right. In the history of American enterprise, there was no one quite like Jim Jackson. His overall demeanor and presentation as Wall who interacted with him was that of a self-styled cowboy. He wore ostrich leather boots, always had a Marlboro cigarette in his mouth, and owned a 10-gallon hat in every color in the catalog. And spoke with a drawl so thick that he could easily be mistaken for a man out of time. This man who came to embody every myth of the Western oil man and whose exploits would someday captivate a nation had not set foot in Texas until his 20th birthday. He never made a dime from oil. Jim was born in Boston on July 16th, 1945, at the exact instant that the first atomic bomb was detonated 2,000 miles away in New Mexico. He was the youngest of 4 children to Walter and Evelyn Jackson. Evelyn was a classically trained stage actress who came from old money tied up in real estate in the Northeast. Walter was a prolific, brilliant chemist who directed a research group for the Bell Telephone Laboratories. During the war, Walter's team was instrumental in developing the membranes necessary for a gas diffusion method of enriching uranium for the Manhattan Project. Walter moved his family from Boston to San Jose, California in 1949 to partner with one of his former colleagues in founding a new applied science company. This new venture, Allied Micromaterials, had become one of the pioneering institutions in the development of semiconductors and later transistors. Contacts Walter had maintained in the Defense Department led to Allied receiving a contract to manufacture guidance systems for a new range of ICBM missiles, and by the middle of the 1950s, Walter was a very wealthy man. As a boy, Jim was bright but had no patience for school. On several occasions, he was found cutting class to wander along a creek that ran through the family's estate. The land had been an apricot orchard before being purchased by his father, and a young Jim spent every spare bit he could find. Sorry about that, I was yawning. He could find playing cowboy in the pastoral grove of the trees. His patient mother indulged his fantasy and sent him to dude ranches. Hell yeah! And paid for horse riding lessons in hopes it might instill a sense of discipline. By Jim's 16th birthday, he was showing signs of restlessness in the rapidly urbanizing Californian environment, and entered into frequent arguments with his exasperated father. When he told Walter he had no interest in attending college and instead mentioned the then escalating conflict in Vietnam, his father shouted him down. Angry but determined, a 17-year-old Jim walked to an Army recruitment station the very next morning. It was of no use, however. Through Walter's many ties to the U.S. defense industry, it was essentially guaranteed that Jim would never see combat. For the young man who yearned to see the world and longed for an adventure to break the monotony of his sheltered upbringing, this was the final straw. On a spring day in 1962, James Jackson packed a small bag and left home. From San Jose, he took a train to Carson City, Nevada, with the intent of finding work at one of the horse ranches from his childhood. When he arrived, a new subdivision had taken its place, with any traces of the ranches long gone. For 2 months, he washed dishes in a casino buffet in Reno to pay for accrued gambling debts. From Nevada, he hitchhiked to Idaho, where he cut onions for 80 cents a day until winter season forced him to move on. For 3 years, he stumbled from job to job, lumberjacking in Washington State, fitting irrigation pipe in Arizona, welding in Alaska, mining molybdenum, Molly in Colorado, eventually working as a roughneck in an oil field outside of Odessa, Texas. These 3 years had hardened young Jim. For the first time, he felt at home among the wildcatters and oilmen in the dust and sun of West Texas. The challenge invigorated him. The harsh conditions of the desert inspired him. The boom-bust cycle of the petroleum industry, however, little did to help secure the human needs of food and shelter. The men who made real money on drilling sites, Jim had noticed, were the geologists, those who only found the oil and didn't stick around to do the hard work of pulling it out of the ground. Jim was charismatic, and wasn't long before he found work as an assistant for a local surveying office and began to learn the fine art of finding things underground edited. He was almost ready to settle down when he received a call from home. His father had suffered an intracranial aneurysm and had died before emergency medical treatment could be administered. For the first time in years, he went home. In days after Walter's funeral, Jim was forced to confront his future. Jim was 20, with little occupational prospects, but now had a $25,000 inheritance. Enough in 1965 to get into nearly any business he wanted. He knew he still didn't have the patience for college. He had already figured to leave the quote-unquote gone west, out of either a feeling of guilt or desire to not cause any further trouble to his family in California. He returned to Texas with the goal of finally striking out on his own. By 1973, James Jackson was a man who, at least on the surface, betrayed no insecurities about his expertise. He exuded confidence, and after a few lucky breaks, locating petroleum where none was thought to have existed, was billed as a guru of the underground. A small office was leased in Midland, a clerk and eventually a geologist. A few engineers and surveyors were hired. For a short time, it was a mundane but generally honest living. What he lacked in experience as the chief of the small firm, he more than made up for it in energy and zeal he brought up to every job he undertook. He detested office work and would personally show up to every site, rain or shine, with the enthusiasm and showmanship of a circus ringmaster. The job for Dale Whitmer was no exception. Phew! That was a lot of reading. Let's see, what have we got left? Why? There's more! There's more! Oh no, this can't be. Alright, maybe during another stream I can come back and read all this. Let's see. We'll read up to here, where this little thing's at. Let's see, what is this? Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh wait, Jackson letter 2. Alright, let's put them in order. Let's see, magnify. August 24th, 1973. This is from the Purple Sage Motel. Dear Colton, things are really starting to take off down here. At around 3 or so last night, we broke a new depth record of 1,800 feet vertical descent from the maw. It's a damn shame if you and the other folks are so spooked by this pit. To be down here, and it really is something else. Now, don't misunderstand. I'm not saying it's easy. God Almighty is tough getting around down here. And its gullet and such. A man gotta have an iron constitution or a mighty thick skull, and lucky me that the good Lord has seen titty to bless me with both. Some of the boys here have rigged up scuba gear, and we've been able to squeeze around down there with some effort. Giant muscles, giant bones, innards so big you could drive a trailer truck through. Strange critters scuttling around the dark down here, too. Big bugs and germs and worms and other queer things that you wouldn't believe. Some kind of crab thing the size of a coyote crept out a week or a half ago, and we caught it crawling around the feed trailer. I got a good look at it before one of Dale's boys shot at it and it skithered away. You shouldn't have shot at that. It's gonna kill you now. We had a funeral for the third roustabout to pass away this month on a Tuesday. The papers are already talking gossip more than I'd like, and I'm hopeful that Bill and the other attorneys can keep the bullshitters and the feds at bay. People don't understand until they've seen it and been down inside it, Colton. We're pioneers and explorers here. This is good work. This is God's work. Nobody knows what this mystery pit is or what it eats or how long it's been here. We need some guys with real smarts, not oilmen, doctors, scientists, good decent folks who would have nothing to do with this. See, I'm mighty glad that you've taken responsibility for holding down the fort back home while I'm out here playing the cowboy. You're a good man, Colton. The kind of quality individual they don't make anymore. Maybe I'm hoping I can find some of that goodness myself someday. Maybe down in the belly of this beast. Give Samantha and the baby my regards, Jim Jackson. P.S. There's a company out of Fort Worth that I've called up to help with this exploration. I've attached their card to this letter. Give their geologist a call and let them know the details. I'm told they're very good at what they do. And lo and behold, it's anodyne. Little did he know that they were about to screw everything up, leading to the park's closure. Let's see, what is this? The dark and constantly shifting interior of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park has been a formidable challenge to the navigation since its discovery. Tethered explorations early in the history of the park mitigated this problem, but more comprehensive surveys eventually required a novel solution by using a standard magnetic compass. Oh, so that's what that is. In combination with the barometer. Directional bearing and relative depth within the organism can be obtained, of course. These two items of information are alone insufficient and require a small assortment of other physical and chemical orienteering solutions to effectively navigate within the superorganism. Still, the device is similar to the anodyne-produced unit photographed here have been and continue to be invaluable basic tools for park rangers, engineers, and technicians who need to know where they are within the park. Okay, so there's a certainty that this has killed someone before due to misinformation. Mystery Flesh Pit. Damn, this goes like deep into the ground. Alright, let's see. The visitor center's up here. Let's see, this is estimated to be the upper extent of the organism. Let's see, you go into the entry, which is the mouth. The upper moisture crop is right here. The hard palate right here. Lower moisture crop, and then lower... What is my dog yapping about? What could she possibly be barking at? Lower visitor center, which is where this little arrow is right here. Let's see, bone, amniotic ballast bulbs, aka pleasure domes. So the sign talking about earlier about a special place for the mom and dad. It's the mystery freak pit. That's where they get freaky. The trunk organ. Actually, let me get a closer look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so they could fit like 15 rooms, I'm guessing. 15 rooms, 15 rooms, and two people per room to get freaky. Then you got the oyster shame. Oh, here's the sand gullet that that everyone was talking about. The mucus crypts. The fondue village. Why is there a village in here? More boner. Septum falls. Thor's rib cage. Let's see, the chime bladder. Surveying depth extent. So people are still looking. So people are still surveying this because this thing seems to be going down further. And what is this? Can I get a closer look at that? God's mistake. This is right nearby where the bone is. But why is it called God's mistake if it's in the bone? Not unless somebody stepped out. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I feel like I miscounted. See, this profile survey is one of the many examples produced early in the development of the Mystery Flesh Pit. The new Jackson survey, conducted by surveyor James Slippin' Jim Jackson, combined many prior smaller surveys with the new speleological data obtained by Jackson's team. Notably, Jackson's surveying expedition marked the discovery of such features as Fondue Village, the Time Bladder, and the Pleasure Domes. Missing from this early survey are deeper portions of the pit anatomy, such as the gift gardens and copepod barrows. As sections will remain inaccessible until the production of the Grumman IAV in 1978, this survey was printed in several national publications as a primary piece of marketing information until an updated computer-aided survey was conducted in 1980. So we already read those. Oh God, it's a bunch of words. Price 12 cents. The Dallas Morning News. A mysterious pit and the man who found it. James Slippin' Jim Jackson, oilman, showman, innovator, discoverer, and foremost explorer of the Mystery Flesh Pit. For 3 miles back and 2,840 feet below the surface. 2 years ago, we lodged the first steel tent into the tissue to build these paths. Secrecy surrounding NASA Venus probe mission sparks intense speculation and conspiracy circles. What is this? Oh, it's a video? An overview presentation of the 1979 survey expedition into the Mystery Flesh Pit. Let's take a look at this.
I feel like something's coming. In 2024, your life and your business won't be the same anymore.
Project Freefall. See, in 1979, a mission was proposed to study and map the gross anatomical structure of the Permian Basin superorganism through vertical descent. This surveying expedition was a joint effort administered by the United States Department of the Interior in cooperation with the Soviet Academy of Sciences. Six-person expedition team, 3 American, 3 Soviet personnel, spent nearly 6 weeks. Despite tragedies and hardships, they collected information. Background. The Permian Basin superorganism was discovered in 1973 by drilling crews who believed they had found an untapped aquifer. Ew! Excavation of a small nearby sinkhole revealed a colossal living portal of flesh descending into the earth. Workers began referencing the orifice site as a mystery flesh pit. Actually, what if this isn't a mouth? What if it's a booty? Because, you know, there would be teeth and there would be teeth we'd see. Over the next 3 years, from 1973 to 1976, scattered exploration efforts slowly began to map and understand the large basin and internal section of the Permian Basin superorganism. Wait, what's going on? Is he going further into the tunnel or is he getting eaten? A widespread knowledge of interest in Permian Basin superorganisms remained low within the Soviet general academic landscape of the Soviet Union at the time. Dr. Kazimir Vinogradov of the Soviet Academy of Science was a vocal proponent of study of the superorganism for its possible insights into the origins and early evolution of life. December 1977, Soviet Academy of Science President Anatoly Alexandrov responded to U.S. Department Cooperative Geobiological Expedition Program objectives. Broadly, the goal of the joint anatomical expedition was to expand geobiological and material understanding of what it is. Aside from the prestige of being the first human beings to make such a deep journey, the partnership held the following objectives for the joint expedition and its geobiology research. Precise determination of the anatomical structure throughout a vertical section of the Permian Basin superorganism. Bioseismic measurements from a deeper reference depth than any prior measurements. Distribution and diversity of parasitic fauna at both charted and uncharted depths. Engineering tests of equipment at great anatomical depths. Exotic anatomy. Oh yeah, they studied it, I guess. Determination of the effects of occult venereal phenomena on human health and psychology. Key expedition personnel. Alright, who we got on our team? Dr. Kazimir Vinograd. Alright, who else? Colonel Nikolai Morzov. Lieutenant Valeria Krishenko, pilot, Soviet Air Forces. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, James Slippin' Jim Jackson. You'll always be a Slippin' Jimmy. Cowboy intuition. Why do you think this man's an alien? Gualtiero or Ortiz. It's a close worker of James Jackson.
There comes a time in every creator's life when they say,
I've got an idea for a t-shirt.
I have an idea for a poster.
I don't have I have an idea for it. I don't know. Rachel Frost. She gathered quartz from the organism. Expedition outline. Area of interest, that's like over there. Location, Permian Basin superorganism. And it's right there. Expedition day 1. The vehicle is lowered into the maw of the entry orifice and affixed for crew arrival. It's a very large pill. Oh, it's like a submarine of some sort. Oh. Yeah, so it's like a submarine slash spaceship. 10-kilometer depth milestone. Wow. They're right there? Counter previously unobserved macro parasitic life organism flees before extensive documentation is able to occur. What is that? Mesogelastic fermented chasm. An advanced base camp is to be established as preparations are made to begin blasting through a dense cartilaginous stratum plate at the base of the chasm. Man, they just keep going and going. With the blue tissue exposed through blasting, the excursion pod vehicle is slowly lowered down into the cut. The excursion pod device. So there's the vehicle inside of the vehicle. Single person excursion vehicle is piloted by Lieutenant Valeria Krischenko. Passes an unknown area of the PBSO anatomy. Interference in the transmission results in an incomplete message. Hang on. I'm gonna pull up a Google Translate. I'm gonna pull up the good old Google Translate and see what it says. Unless there's somebody in the stream that knows how to speak Russian. Let's see. According to this, it says light, reflective, and mixing tessellation, movement of rough fabric, prismatic behavior becomes fractal-like. I will continue to collect a sample of the material. Oh, I didn't even have to pull up a... Oh, I didn't even have to pull up the Google Translate because they would have just told me. No, thank you for doing that. Movement of coarse tissue, prismatic behavior becomes like a fractal. I'll continue to collect a sample of the material. This was at 2 in the morning. You must be sleepy. Ooh, photo plate of exotic anatomical environment. That looks shiny. Exotic anatomy sample recovered from excursion vehicle onboard material. Sample collection rack. After spending 5 minutes within the exotic anatomy, the excursion pod vehicle begins an automatic ascent upward through the blue tissue. During this time, transmission interference prevents radio contact between pilot and the Corona vehicle. Approximately 4:51, a sharp tensile force is observed by the Corona crew of the cables pulling up the excursion pod. A general alarm signaling originating from the excursion pod vehicle was reported. Pod ascent operations continue. 6:02, surfaces from blue tissue cut and is hoisted upwards. Pilot is absent with the exception of trace amounts of human blood located on the canopy shards. A search is deemed impossible without an operational blue tissue capable vehicle. Lieutenant Krischenko is presumed dead. No, goodbye. It's nice knowing you. A single photo is recovered from the excursion vehicle and the onboard imaging system, dated to mere moments before the tensile load event. The photograph depicts an unknown organism approximately 500 meters in width, floating within the blue tissue layer. It's determined that... Oh, so this thing could have killed Valeria. What does it look like? That's a wig. A decision is made by the Ray and Chronic crew to abandon any additional survey activities and begin returning the journey back to the surface. Conclusion. So only one person died. The enormous expense of the program, as well as the death of Lieutenant Krishenko, persuades Soviet Academy of Sciences to discontinue any future activities. Despite this, the project is considered a diplomatic and scientific success. Permian Basin superorganism natural preserve, though eventually will become the mystery flesh pit. End of presentation. That's cool. Alright, what have we got? Let's see. Report on the ineffective potential of nuclear deterrence as a defense against the Permian Basin superorganism. Oh, so this was a contingency in case of like... Or, wait, what were they trying to do? Unfortunately, only the cover could be photographed, but these very large series of Department of Energy reports seem to suggest very intensive investigation to the feasibility of using nuclear weapons to kill the Permian Basin superorganism, and the conclusion seems to be a resounding no. Let's see, what is this? Photo of the April 1980 annexation, which brought the mystery flesh pit into the U.S. National Park System. President Carter, near the end of his presidency, met with DOI and anodyne personnel at the entry site itself to officially sign the proclamation. Below, an aerial photo of the pit and surrounding site captures the scale of work that took place from 1978 to 1981 to develop and improve the park's interior infrastructure. Whereas it appears the public interest will be promoted by reserving this natural wonder as a national park, together with as much land as may be needed for the protection, not known for the known excavated entrance, but other entrances may be found. Now, therefore, I, James Carter Jr., President of the United States, by authority of the power vested in me by Section 2 of the Act of Congress entitled An Act for the Preservation of American Antiquities, approved June 8th, 1906. Do proclaim that this is hereby reserved from all forms of appropriation under the public land laws. So that became an official park. Let's see. What is this? Explore inner space. Exit 176 towards Gumption. The Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. Come on, guys. Let's go to the Mystery Flesh Pit. Oh, this is the... Ooh. Gotta put this in another tab and get a closer look at it. Lower Visitor Center. This thing is gigantic. There's picnic tables there. Let's see, this thing's being held up by a bunch of pipes and stuff that are stabbed into the walls. Look, we got a gift shop. And we got a... Do my eyes deceive me? Is that a pure-blooded American restaurant inside of the flesh pit? Why, yes it is. It's a Burger King. It's also a gift shop. Just down there, park ranger offices. Why are the park ranger offices down there? Like, what if that part like falls off and then there goes your life because you were up here, it broke off and you fell in. Burger King, Baskin Robbins. We got a Baskin Robbins in here. Let's see. Gateway into the Deep. Your adventure into the wonder and magnificence of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park begins as your enclosed gondola begins to descend down into the darkness, away from the blistering heat and light of the Permian Basin. Just when the 20-minute twisting and turning ride down the maw of this immense organism feels like it might never end, an illuminated structure comes into view beneath your feet. Step out of the elevator car and into the well-lit and comfortable lobby of the lower visitor center. Your gateway into an unforgettable visit to one of the world's most unique natural wonders. I think this is an alien. Can I look at that? Architectural gem. The Mystery Flesh Pits National Park's Lower Visitor Center is a marvel of structural engineering that took over 8 years to construct. The original concrete visitor center was forcefully installed down at the surface entry orifice in the 1970s, but in the late 1980s, work began to expand the capabilities of the facility by surrounding the original concrete core with a superstructure composed of acid-resistant glass and surgical-grade structural steel. The new facility would act as a central hub for all activities within the vast anatomy of the Mystery Flesh Pit, allowing park administration to quickly and efficiently dispatch rangers and manage operations. Today, the Lower Visitor Center serves as a key role in guest satisfaction, as well with the comfortable and secure architecture of the building, bringing even the most fearful guests back again and again. Let's see, how would you guys feel about going to visit the visitor center deep inside of the flesh pits? Okay, what is this? Wait, what? Oh wait, this is all together. Oh, that's just the paper where he's like, let's talk better mileage. What is this? Billboards outside Gumption, Texas. What's that? Oh, it's a man laying down. Struggling with addiction? You don't have to struggle alone. Call Gumption home, starting in the 280s. It's not bad, is it? And that sounds pretty good. Let's see, what else have we got? What is this? The early 1970s, prior to the involvement of either the Anodyne Corporation or the National Park Service, exploration of the Mystery Flesh Pit was a crude and arduous exercise undertaken by local agriculture and oil field workers. These young men, many of whom possessed no formal training in caving, improvised a variety of methods to aid in these early missions of discovery. An early attempt to mechanize the task of crawling through the viscera of the fleshscape took the form of field-modified work trucks, like the surviving GMC CK truck shown here, formerly on display within the Upper Visitor Center. These jury-rigged vehicles lacked standardized designs and were highly experimental in nature, though lacking the safety and articulation features common to later purpose-built machines, such as the Grumman-produced internal anatomy vehicle. I can click on that? Oh, okay. Doesn't exist. These simple trucks were relatively instrumental in early exploration efforts to survey the Permian Basin superorganism, which 2 or 3 surviving in service well into the 1980s. And they weren't talking about crude. What do we got here? We have 2 treadmill tires, one on the bottom and one on the top, and we got snow plows. They're flesh plows now to push all of the meat out of the way. Wait a minute, this is just a thing without the document attached to it. No, wait, I lied. This is all this right here is connected. With the picture of James Carter signing the thing, and then the paper saying that he signed it, and then the map. Let's see. Alright, we're down to 3 more. Or, no, wait, we gotta go through these ones right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have like 5 more. Wait, huh? Hiking through the bronchial forests. Whoa, what? The bronchial forests within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park were an enormous draw to hiking crowds. Spacious organic caverns, though dark, provided a warm and humid respite for avid hikers from the frigid temperatures of the winter months. Sightseers enjoyed the steady stream of fresh outside air with bronchial passages, despite being thousands of feet underground. It was from these great forests that the iconic and unnerving moans of the Mystery Flesh Pit emanated. Sadly, like all the wondrous geobiological features found within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, the bronchial forests were closed to the public for good following the tragic disaster in July 2007. Though a keen ear may still be able to hear the moans of the Permian Basin superorganism as far as Abilene, Texas. Let's get a closer look here. Bronchial overlook, middle chasm. What happened here? Explosion, cauterized, pleural puncture. Bronchial passages. This is a giant path. And then if you come all the way up here, then you can see the entire lung, apparently. Let's see, so when it's winter, it breathes in the cold air, but then it breathes out the hot air, I guess. And that's what I guess that's what the forest is supposed to look like. Very fleshy, very goopy, and I'm sure it smells in there. A long macrobacteria extends sensory appendages as forages for food. Looks like a little sea urchin. Luminescent fungal colony found growing extensively within the bronchial forests. Swat that thing off and step on it. Pneumo K landing on a visitor arm during an uncharacteristically benign encounter. Okay, it doesn't look that dangerous, but still. Also, wait. It says there's emergency telephone. Okay. I don't know why. I was just wanting to make sure that, you know. So they're all here, but they're too far from each other, though. Wait, what does that say? Many believe they are strong hikers, and hike into a bronchial forest is easy. Know your limits. Huh. Interesting. Wells of the abhumans. Peer into the past. Let's see. Wait, so there were bodies dating all the way back from, like, the Stone Age found inside of this? One was dated the 10th century AD, one was dated over 35,000 BC, with the final specimen having bones entirely consisting of a dense plastic polymer. Don't toss trash into here, you will get removed from the park. What is this? From the moment the properties of the amniotic ballast were realized, there was a rush to export the experience of bathing in the natural thermal springs of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park into the home. The difficulties in such a proposition rested within the additional property of ballast to begin losing some of its potency with removal from the venturial environment. While, of course, possible through a combined strategy of pressurization, heating, concentration, and chemical stabilization, such efforts were never cheap or easily portable. As a result, few but the relatively wealthy ever enjoyed the full benefits of the ballast bathing outside of the Mystery Flesh Pit, which ended up driving more and more visitors to the park as the health and recreational value of the ballast became more widespread. So they... Wait, what? So they grab the samples, they stuff it into this machine, and it like makes the, like a hot tub, I guess. Alright, last two, and then, yeah, last two, and then we'll call it a night here. Entry orifice and surface services guide. What have we got here? Visitor center. There's a bunch of parking lots. You got A, B, C, D, E. Intra-park resort parking garage. There's a Marriott hotel here. Conference parking, hotel parking, retail, concourse, gondola, pavilion. Historic ritual grounds. Commercial partners. Nothing more American than a Burger King, a Baskin Robbins. Wait, does that say Chili's too? There's a. Oh, we got Chili's 2 before GTA 6. Hard Rock Cafe, the Marriott, and Trader Vic's. Hunting and fishing. A permit is required. Stay behind the railings, away from cliffs. Do not approach industrial areas. Keep wildlife wild. Don't feed it. You need to get a grip. Calm down when you're entering the. While you're going inside of the mall. I have 1 to 2 hours. What should I do? Walk. See. Visit. I have half a day. What should I do? Ride. Attend. Walk. I have a full day. What should I do? Explore. Bathe. Visit. And this is where the hole is. Oh, look. Red text. My favorite. Let's take a look at that. Hiking off trail within the park is dangerous. Mystery Flesh National Park occupies living and active internal anatomy of the Permian Basin superorganism. Unreinforced areas within the superorganism are lethal and inhospitable to human life. Follow all warning signs and precautions while inside of the park. Neat. What is this? Oh, this is a map. Let's see. Edition shown here, scanned from 2000 and commemorates the 20th anniversary of the park's absorption into the national park system. Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh, now I see where they would do the fishing at. Look, we got the greater gastric sea at the bottom right and the lesser gastric sea. Get a closer look at that. Bronchial Forest, Fondue Village. Why's my chair locked? I was trying to like lean back a bit and then I just end up colliding my back with the chair as it doesn't move. Wait, where am I at? Oh, right. The Venterial mining crew enlarges and clears fluid from an existing duct in the preparation to move in larger extraction equipment. This work requires considerable skill and a psychological resistance to claustrophobia. Interesting. Okay, maybe one more. I just want to see this. This video captures a live emergency alert broadcast from August of 2018 for Texas residents of the eastern Permian Basin. These kinds of alerts and alarms are somewhat common. Though the tremors and ejecta of these small events are quite minimal, when compared to the large 2007 event, they are still a point of danger, taken seriously by those who live and work around the Permian Basin. All right, let's take a. All right, I think this will be a good thing to like end it on. Let's go to YouTube to watch it.
Sell to millions of people online with Shopify's social media and marketplace integrations.
Get out of here.
following message is transmitted at the request of the Texas Department of Public Safety, the United States Geological Survey, and the Permian Basin Recovery Corporation. The United States Geological Survey has issued a geobiological activity advisory for the following counties: Cook County, Gumption County, Howard County, Midland County, Sterling County, until 2:18 a.m. Central Daylight Time at 10:48 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Seismic EKG monitoring stations detected muscle contractions originating from the northeastern limb of the Permian Basin superorganism. This event is expected to cause moderate to severe damage to property, utility services, and infrastructure. Residents are advised to seek shelter immediately. If you do not have access to
that must be the moaning I was talking about. That one thing.
Battery-powered radio. During this event, you may experience headaches, nausea, fever, hallucinations, dizziness, mild seizures, temporary changes in vision, reduced or enhanced cognitive ability, limited precognition, memory loss, and muscle cramps.
Memory loss.
Are temporary.
Not muscle cramps.
Once the event has concluded, do not exit your shelter until emergencies. Stay tuned to local news media outlets for continuing information on this situation.
I see. So it's just an ordinary Tuesday for everyone. They wake up to the tremor, and then they go back to sleep. It's like, oh, it's just muscle attractions. Nothing unusual about that. But yeah, that was some of what the mystery flesh pit is. And yeah. This is my first time of doing a video like this. And also, I don't know if I said this, but this is all on the computer. I did this all, well, or no, wait. You probably know that already, that it's on the computer. That I live streaming on a computer. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more content like this. Like reacting to like scary stuff, analog horror, whatever it is that you request. And on that note, I will see all of you in the next live stream. Please drive home carefully, and we'll